Jerry Ferrara is kicking us off here with our celebrity picks. If you want to watch the show, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio. Jerry, of course, you know him from Entourage, from Power, from Think Like a Man, from Las Vegas, so many things, and noted super sports fan. Jerry, thanks for doing this. How you been?
I've been well, and I'm hoping I don't fumble your opening celebrity kickoff right here, and hopefully you get some good vibes going into week one.
Listen, Jerry, we're expecting a Deion Sanders-like escalation here. We just need you to really pull some upsets.
Well, better than Jalen Brunson did in international play, Jerry.
Oh,
sorry.
Boy. Don't start.
We're 10 seconds in, you're going to troll me about a Knicks player in FIBA basketball.
Well, I'm just wondering, Maggie and I were talking about, is Jalen Brunson going to make the big Olympic team? Actually, he looked pretty good. He's pretty good. I know you're a big fan of his.
They subbed him out and put in Halliburton on defense, and Halliburton slipped and an open three happened. And I'm just saying, I know he's not a lockdown defender, but listen, just keep him healthy. I want him for the Knicks. Gold medals are great. I want him healthy for the Knicks. That's all I care about.
Well, Jerry Ferrara joining us. He's our celebrity NFL picker for this week to start us off. And before we get to the picks, speaking of the Knicks, obviously, let's go back to the playoffs for a moment. So it was Heat Knicks. Everyone's getting really excited for the big game, but fans were also excited for another reason, Perloff, and that is because not only had the Aaron Rodgers trade become official, but Rodgers had come to New York to participate in all the offseason programs. So Rodgers is all over New York. He's doing everything. So, of course, he shows up to Madison Square Garden, not just for a Ranger game. Then the next day he's there for a Knicks game. Sitting courtside, who is he next to? Our man, Jerry Ferrara. So who sat down first? Like, were you there first? You saw Rodgers coming, or was he sitting there first? And you're like, oh, I'm going to go sit next to Rodgers.
So listen, I still don't believe that I get to sit there from time to time as a Knicks fan since childhood. The fact that I get to sit there is ridiculous. So I was there first. And I'm always there first because I go down for the warm-ups. When everyone else goes upstairs during halftime, I stay down there. I don't leave those seats. I'm there for the game. So, yes, I was there first. I didn't know who I was going to be sitting next to. I was there with my buddy Max Greenfield from New Girl in the neighborhood. And in walks in Aaron Rodgers and Sauce. It sat right next to me. And Lundqvist also somehow gets left out of the equation. It was like we're sitting right there as well. And yeah, it definitely changed the vibe of the night. I didn't know that we were going to get so much action our way, but it was cool because where we sat too in that corner, the game in the fourth quarter sort of played out in that corner.
Wow.
A lot of loose balls. Josh Hart hit a big three. Brunson hit a big three. Jimmy Butler took off his hoodie and was in like a, Lululemon tank top or whatever. It was awesome.
So wait, how much hoops does Aaron Rodgers know? Did you get to talk about the game with him?
Yeah, basically, a lot of people and even friends have asked me, what do you guys talk about? And some of it, nothing crazy. It was such a deep nerd basketball conversation. I can't even tell you. Oh, my God. He so deep, and he really loves basketball. And what blew me away even more is when they both stood up, and I'm like, wow, Sauce Gardner's taller than Aaron Rodgers. I'm trying not to like this Jets team. I'm a Giants fan. I needed like a sports intervention last week. But yeah, that was a great night. And the Knicks won, which it was not a good series for them, but that was one of the better games to be at.
Jerry Ferrara is going to be the celebrity picking NFL games for us week one. We're going to continue this throughout the season with all different types of celebrities. And, I'm just wondering, like, if I sat next to Rodgers, I would have to at some point ask about the ayahuasca. I would have to. He's put it out there. Clearly, he's okay talking about it. Did the conversation ever go towards, did he try to recruit you, like, to take, these mind-altering drugs?
He did not try to recruit me. By the way, if he did, I would have went along. I would have definitely went along. No, he did not try to recruit me. And, at that point, like I said, he had just gotten to New York. So I think he was just really taking it in. And, he's bringing players to Broadway shows and just living it up. You saw his quotes the other day. It's like a dream. And, I'm happy for him. Again, I don't want to root for this team, but I'm happy for him because I've met him before and he's a really, really good dude.
Okay, another GOAT, Tom Brady, who I'm assuming you've run into through the years. I believe he was on Entourage, right?
Yeah.
And,
oh, yeah.
I know you're a Giants fan, but he's going to be honored at the Patriots-Eagles game. I mean, what do you get for Tom Brady? I feel like that's an impossible gift assignment. How would you honor Tom Brady if you were New England?
Look, anything short of like, here's 25% of the team that you helped build for the last 25 years is going to feel like a miss. I just think, though, you're right, Andrew, but I think for him, because he did go to the Bucks, and then even in that last year with the Bucks, it was not a storybook ending for him. So I think coming back to New England, that emotion, that crowd, I just think him getting cheered in that stadium, feeling like a Patriot again, I would imagine is enough, because it still is weird. We had it with Montana, with the Chiefs, Favre with Vikings and Jets. Yeah. So it still was weird seeing Brady in that Bucs jersey. So seeing him back in New England, even though I'm no Patriots fan, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Maggie thinks he's coming back, by the way. She will not let go of this idea that he's going to run out at halftime with a helmet on.
Look, I possible. And wasn't there like some story that who was it for the Niners? Like Phil Rivers was like ready to go in case they made the Super Bowl. Well, if there's ever a guy for that, Tom Brady's like the greatest guy. Hey, night before, our quarterback's a little iffy. Tom, can you dust off your 48-year-old arm? If there's ever a guy for that, it's Brady.
See, Jerry, you can tell Jerry Ferrara is joining us. You can tell Jerry's actually a classy person because, you just asked a Giants fan what they would give Tom Brady. Yeah. And, there's a couple options there. A little photo of the David Tyree helmet catch, ask him to sign it. Little, sailing a pass over Wes Welker's head.
It's so fun. I have no beef with the Patriots. It's been a wonderful relationship. Like I said, he did us a solid and came on Entourage when Peyton and Eli Manning sort of not flaked, but had to pull out 2 weeks before that episode. So that's how it became Brady and Wahlberg. So we're having Wahlberg as your executive producer. He's like, you want me to call Tom? I'm like, Tom who?
Tom Tupa?
Call Tom Brady up and see if he'll be on the show. So I got no beef with the Pats or Brady. 2-0 in the Super Bowl.
Be like, why did it take you this long to call Brady? We couldn't have just had him for season 1. Jerry Ferrara's got a podcast, the Jerry Ferrara podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitch. It's on Facebook. You're a diehard sports fan. You really are, Jerry. I mean, you know your stuff. And that's why we thought of you immediately when we were doing celebrity NFL picks. So let's get to it.
Time for celebrity picks.
Jerry, did you ever watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous as a kid?
I did. I can't say I've sat and watched the whole episode, but I know Robin Leach and I know the intro, but I don't think I've ever sat and watched the whole episode, but I'm familiar. I'm old enough to be familiar.
That's just music playing. I don't know if you can hear the music. Yeah, we're playing Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Okay, so
as you live.
We've got 5 games for Jerry to pick, so we'll go through them, and you can give us as little or as much information on these as you want, Jerry. It's really artist's choice. So first one, Dolphins at Chargers. Chargers 3-point favorites.
Look, I am of the belief that anytime the Chargers are playing a good team, whether they're home or on the road and favored, you need to go with the dog here. Dolphins, I think, are pretty loaded and stacked early in the year. But my best pick ever was last year. I bet Jaguars down 27-7 at halftime against the Chargers. Because I'm like, this is the worst thing that could happen to the Chargers is having a 20-point lead at halftime. Give me the Dolphins plus the 3 all day.
Man, love it. Okay, Bengals at the Browns. Browns are 2.5-point underdog.
This is a tough one for me because I married a beautiful woman from Cleveland. So the Cleveland Browns are my team-in-law, as I like to call them. But I do like the Browns with the plus 2.5. I'd like it a little more if it were 3. So I'm stretching a little bit. But Browns 2.5 at home. I think they pull it out.
Just a little side note, Perloff lost our Joe Burrow bet where he thought he was going to sign for less money annually than Justin Herbert. So now he has to eat a bowl of Skyline chili with no hands.
Oof, that's brutal.
You ever had
Skyline guys don't chili? Play games over there.
I know. Our food bets around here are no joke. Okay, yes.
By the way, I would say I like marrying a Browns fan because then the bar is low. She's so used to disappointment that anything you do is a positive, right, Jerry?
Well, quick sidebar, but what about my 2 kids? They gonna be Browns and Knicks fans? That's just, I'm setting them up for years of therapy right there.
I know. Better put some of that Entourage money away for the therapy bills. Eagles at Pats. Pats are a 4-point underdog.
I wrestled with this one because the Eagles are such a powerhouse and they're in my team's division and I don't want to pick them. But also, I'm going to go with the Pats. I'm going to take the 4 points. I think Belichick, too, time to prepare specifically for one team. I think it is a close game. I think the Eagles win, but I think it's a field goal game or maybe even a push situation. But give me the 4 points here.
Got to go with your team. That'd be the New York Giants. Everyone's big on the Daniel Jones. Got the big contract. Saquon Barkley's nice and happy playing on the franchise tag. Darren Waller questionable, though, for this game. They welcome in the Cowboys, who've been tough for them in the last few years. Giants are a 3.5-point underdog right now.
Yeah, you see the Waller, like red X on all your fantasy sites. It's like, oh, here we go. This is not. We're hoping we can get through week 1. So look, if he's not going to play, that changes this a lot. But assuming he's going to play and tough it out, I just also love the number. I love the 3.5 at home. And you're right, the Giants, Maggie, have not beat the Cowboys on opening night since I think the stadium opened up for the Cowboys. So I'm going with the Giants with the 3.5. I just think it's a good number, but I do think they win the game outright. I'm picking all dogs if you're noticing the theory here. Smart
strategy for week 1. So we'll finish out with this one. Monday night, it's the Bills at the Jets. You were courtside, Knicks game, sitting next to Aaron Rodgers and Sauce Gardner. Jets are a 2.5-point underdog.
Yeah, so this is a case where I don't love the number as much. And again, I'm done with the Jet stuff. I gave them the love they deserved. I even talked about it, like I said, on my YouTube show last week, like I needed that intervention. I think people slept on the Bills. They had a rough ending to the year last year for obvious reasons. Also, Josh Allen hurt. But if you look back to those first 10 weeks, they were a buzzsaw on offense. And I think close game, I think the Bills actually pulled out. Sorry, Jet fans, but whatever.
That's okay. You're talking to the number one Bills fan right here. So I'm glad that someone is positive about the Bills. Okay, so Jerry, are you a Daniel Jones guy? Because Perloff and I are very split on this.
I am a Daniel Jones guy. What that means exactly is definitely nuanced. I do think everyone panicked so much after the draft, and I get it. They drafted him early. They probably could have got him at 18 or whatever the pick was, but he's getting better every year. And if you look at his coaches before Dable, that was a bit of a nightmare. You want a quarterback who could run? You want a quarterback with a strong arm? Yes, he has to work on accuracy. Look at the weapons he had last year. So, I'm in. Is he a top 5 quarterback? Not yet. Will he be? Not quite sure. But to me, especially in the NFC, I'm very comfortable giving him that contract and being the quarterback. What else are you going to do?
Our friend Tiki Barber said that he would take Daniel Jones 100 times out of 100 over Dak Prescott. Can you buy that?
Well, being that I would be, if I'm the 101st person you're asking, that's 101 out of 101. Yes, I'm buying that. Andrew, what is Dak done?
Dak Prescott's beaten the Giants 10 times in a row. And Tiki's like, I would take him 100 times. I think it's closer than that. I mean,
10 times in a row, and it's all led to what? Second round playoff appearance.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Once.
Daniel Jones, I like Daniel Jones. He threw 15 touchdowns last year, and all of a sudden he's better than Dak Prescott. That feels
Wait, how did he do with his legs, though? How it was 700-800 rushing yards?
Another 7 touchdowns rushing.
Another 7 touchdowns. You leave that part of the equation off. And you to Hodgins and who else? Well, guys that have been cut, Sills.
I can't remember. How did he do against my Eagles last year?
Your Eagles are stacked. You're the best team in the league, I think. Your Eagles are stacked. Don't measure them up against the Eagles. We're talking about the Cowboys and Dak. You pivoted on me. The
funny thing is, I'm the pro Daniel Jones one. Maggie's in.
I'm the anti-Daniel Jones. I know.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, here's why. Well, okay, I know Daboll well, I think, because he was Josh Allen's offensive coordinator, and I understand it. And I understand how good it looked after year 1. And Allen, to his credit, and the team got Diggs and all that, and they really took off. I just can't tell if Daniel Jones was last year the anomaly or is last year the real thing, because I watched him have fumbling problems and all of that stuff before, and I just don't know if he's totally fixed from all of that stuff. I want to wait and see.
I hear you. What sold me a little bit more, and again, the Vikings are by no means the purple people eaters from back in the day, but that playoff game showed me, okay, the lights are big, the moment's big, it's a playoff game on the road, and he was pretty flawless in that game. Again, not against a great defense, but that went a long way with me.
So last one for you, Jerry, and thanks for making time for us today. You've been in, a lot of stuff with Kevin Hart, and he's the number one, Eagles, and he's loud about it too. He had an epic appearance on the Manning cast where he just went after Eli in such a huge way. It was wild. How much sports debate do you guys get into Eagles-Giants stuff?
A good amount. Now, you got to remember, we worked together last in 2015, I think it was, on Think Like a Man 2. So I don't think he had a whole lot to go off of. But the Eagles historically have given the Giants. I mean, you go back to Deshaun Jackson running back a punt.
Yep.
When they shouldn't have kicked it to him.
Yep.
Yeah. So the Eagles historically, I mean, I just even remember too. I looked ahead today on my show earlier. Giants Eagles Christmas Day on Monday.
Ooh.
That's in Philly. I'm terrified of that game. I just think the Eagles are so good, and I'm gonna kill them with kindness. But they are just stacked. So yeah, Kevin and I used to go back and forth a lot on basketball too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a Knick fan, so he won those arguments back then.
It's like catnip for someone like him. It's just a built-in punchline. The Jerry Ferrara podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitch. It's on Facebook. Jerry, can't tell you how much we appreciate this. We're going to stack you up against the other celebrities who are going to be picking games. So we wish you the best of luck, sir.
If I run the table, I want to come back and defend the title at some point.
Love